big cat. Welcome to my therapy. This ain't your ordinary world, it's extraordinary. See, I'm a high priestess lightworker, here to guide your way through the waves of life. We'll find a new path to embrace. Tarot, astrology, numerology in our hands. No weapon formed against you shall ever stand. We're winners, we never quit, we always keep on going. Quitters never win, but we're always growing. Hey there, big cat, let's chase the highest vibration. Together we'll create a new world, a brand new nation.
Namaste, Big Cat. Welcome or welcome back to Frequency Phoenix 555 as we unpack Pluto's ingress into Aquarius. This generational planet has shifted, darling dears, and will be in Aquarius for the next 19 years, barring the couple of months between September and November of 2024, where it will what? Step back into Capricorn. So people in high places will be coming down, going down Bobby Brown in a major way during this time. Remember I told you that. Pluto rules Scorpio and is linked to transformation and intensity. Aquarius is traditionally ruled by Saturn, which symbolizes discipline and structure. Modern astrologers, such as myself, but I do delve back into traditional astrology when I'm doing the perfection charts. However, modern astrologers associate Aquarius with Uranus, which represents innovation and rebellion, darling dears. Aquarius was traditionally ruled by Saturn, which symbolized discipline and structure. This ingress will bring major changes in technology, society, collective thinking, darling dears. Expect transformations in areas like social justice, humanitarian efforts, and unconventional ideas. Watch for significant developments in technology and shift in how we interact with the world. That technology is coming for all of us, darling dears, all of us. But there will be what? Significant policing trying to be put in place. But I digress, darling dears. Let's dive in and unpack how you are going to be the what? Moving silence champion as you unleash your cosmic power with Pluto in Aquarius. It's Rise of the Phoenix time. And I'll have nothing else said. Let's get the dice and kick off at a hot trot. Oh, you have an energy of the 8. We are in an 8 year. It's all lining up already, darling dears. The energy of the 8 is Saturn energy, darling dears. Saturn rules your money matters. It's saying you are going to be a master manifester at this time. Go and watch my Pluto in Aquarius read, because it gives each astrological sign the house that Pluto in Aquarius is going to be affecting for the next 19 years. Go and watch that, darling dears. I come with receipts. Anyhow, your birthday could be the 8th, the 17th, or the 26th. Over the next few days, the numbers 2, 4, and 8 will be significant to you. Your luckiest days will be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The letters H, Q, and Z are associated with the number 8. With Saturn, are you leaning in, bestie? Saturn is associated with P and F. So P, F, H, Q, and Z will be of some significance to you over the next few days, darling dears, as we get comfortable with Pluto in Aquarius. It's also represented by the 8th house. The 8th house is ruled by other people's money. It's about joint finances, your taxes, it's investments, what you're investing in, darling dears. It's big business. It's also a house of intimacy and assets, but it's also about you remembering. With Pluto in Aquarius, you have to let go of all negative energies. I took it upon myself to line up the 48 powers with all of the 12 houses of the astrological house wheel, darling dears. So the 8th house rules law number 20. Do not commit to anyone, in the sense where you keep your own mind, lean your own understanding. You cannot be pulled about like a dummy bat. It also covers, the 8th house also covers law 25. Reinvent thyself, darling dears. Law 31. Control the options, darling dears. Control the options. If you're holding all of the cards, you control the outcome, darling dears. And the final law that I got for the 8th house was law 34. Act like a king or queen to be treated like one. You have the energy of the 2. The 2 speaks about travel, so you'll be traveling a lot over the next 19 years, darling dears. Whether mentally, physically, and 80 spiritually, darling dears. Yes, it is. Ambitions and powers are about to be ignited in a big way. We've got the energy of the 6. It speaks about what cooperation. People will be cooperating with you. If you have an health issue, it's going to change. Why? You're finding different ways, being spiritually guided in how to heal thyself. That is for a few. The energy of the 2-6 is saying good luck, and more good luck is about to revisit you, darling dears, and stay there for some time. It will. All right. The number 8 is ruled by the strength card in tarot, darling dears. Big cat Leo energy, the 5th house, darling dears. So you're going to be making using your creativities, darling dears. You're going to have a newfound confidence. Some of you will be making babies. This is about relationships, dating. Many people will be going into major relationships, divinely guided relationships, darling dears. The number 5 itself in astrology aspects, which I lined up, is represented by lean in, bestie. Are you ready? Oh my God. Everything has a representation. It's represented by a Queen Cups. So it speaks about a quick change. Things are changing quickly. Yes, it was stressful, darling dears, but you know what? All your ducks had to be lined up. And it's about releasing karmic energies that are not for you, darling dears. Soul cut. Was it cutting those soul ties season has arrived. If you want to get to the best version of yourself throughout the 19 years that we are about to step into, darling dears. All right, let's get your oracle ancestral message. We're going to use the life lesson cards. Oh, base of the deck, we've got travel, and it also again brings into the innovation of technology, darling dears, being spiritually guided. Somebody's also going to be traveling. If you have a business that's online, darling dears, your business is going to be traveling far and wide. Why? It's recognition time, darling dears. Yes, because you come with what? Sound knowledge. Environmentalists, your words are changing environments. Remember I told you that. What's the oracle ancestral message for my big cats, my moving silence champions, as they step into Pluto in Aquarius? I wanted to jump up. I'm not going to take it. I want it to fall out by itself. I can't make it up. Infinite abundance, darling dears. You have a whole bushel, darling dears. Ultimate grapes is about wealth, right? And it's about you being able to control it. But this is a new enlightenment for you. You've transformed, darling dears. You are going towards the best version of yourself. You're fully supported as you devote yourself to your divine life purpose. North Node style, darling dears. And again, go and watch my Pluto in Aquarius read astrology, so that you can actually find out how it's going to affect you and the tools that you are armed and dangerous with over the next 19 years, darling dears. Remember I told you, forewarned is forearmed. In order for you to actually receive this abundance that the universe is trying to gift unto you, bestie. Yeah. Some of you will be going towards higher education, but it's also you are going to be in a position to teach. But as a teacher, you will always be an internal student. Why? Anyone that knows everything is not going to learn. The answer that you're seeking involves going to school, darling dears. Somebody needs to get some higher education, or it could be spiritual ascension, darling dears. Seeing a lot of star quality, somebody stepping into fame. I'm telling you, some people are about to have what a fabulous, gorgeous, and lovely time during 2024. Remember I told you that. Yeah, involving family. But this is about somebody leaving some kind of family group, friendship, way of thinking. We all saw the butterflies for transformation. It's moving from one family to one that you've created, darling dears. Taking lock, stock, and barrel. Saying what? Ta-ta. Giving a tinky winky and moving off at a brisk pace. Yes. There was a lot of emotions involved in this situation, but it was through what? Misplaced loyalty. This is about you being loyal to what? Your inner child, which you are carrying and going forward, being protected and guided, darling dears. All right. This is a new beginning, darling dears. Some of you are taking the time to learn thyself, know thyself with what? Your birth natal chart. That's all you need on this Malkuth, darling dears, to have the best version of yourself in every situation. Right, let's press on and ask some specific questions. Let's get a deck. Gonna use the gold deck. Base of the deck, listen to your intuition and your discernment, darling dears. It also speaks about all answers coming from within. Somebody has an idea that they've been carrying around, bandying around for some time. It's time for you to bring it out into the world, darling dears. A high priestess is also a teacher. Remember, I told you that. Your psychic gifts and your abilities, darling dears, are going to be heightened during this time. You're going to be filled with what? Innovative ideas. And it's about you, what? Moving forward on these ideas. Don't let them lay. Because remember, the graveyard is filled with people who never what? Acted on their ideas. And when you're dodo dead, it's too late, blood. Let's press on. Keeping the cards in the upright. If it's meant to be spun or in the reverse, the universe will do so. What are the significant changes to be expected by the big cat, apart from the abundance and this higher learning? Money, new opportunities, darling dears. Gateways. This is also my ring bearing card, darling dears. Yes, 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 yes. And seeking, being curious about life, darling dears. A newfound curiosity. The Page of Swords speaks about what? When you're beginning something, it's about you thinking outside of the box now, darling dears. You're no longer what? Caged by other people's ideas. Yeah. And these downloads, these spiritual downloads, these new ideas for you to follow are coming in hot and quick. It also speaks about somebody seeking someone, because this is two different ages, someone of a different age, to assist in their abundance, their growth, building a business, whatever it could be, higher education, it could be a mentor, but someone is coming towards you very quickly, darling dears. Yeah, spiritual protection and guidance. The Eight of Wands, lean in, bestie. Do I have your attention? Do I? I hope so, darling dears, because I'm trying to what? Get to the point. It speaks about, I said 8 and it's a 7 because of the energy of the 8, calling it out again, remembering that this is an abundant time for you, darling dears, because you have mastered something. You are in accomplishment mode, darling dears. Feel empowered, right? To stand your ground with your ideals, your ideas, because they are all valid, darling dears. And you are a rebel. You're different. Look at the two different shoes. You was built different. Expect changes to come in rapidly, darling dears, especially when you put out that a curious seeker, because it's the energy, it's a flow, darling dears. Once you unlock that Pandora's box, but this is in a good way, darling dears, multiple opportunities of abundance will be shown to you. Okay. The Seven of Wands, darling dears, is also telling us to what? Anything that was blocking your energies in the past, it was blocked because you had to learn new things. You was almost like a child, darling dears, opening that Pandora's box to find out what really was the bottom of all of these things, these culminations of situations and circumstances that have happened in your life, darling dears. But you did, and you stood your ground. You faced your dark side, darling dears, and you also remember to keep the balance, darling dears, because it's opening new opportunities for you. Expect them to be fast and furious. The Ace of Pentacles speaks about this growth. Some of you, as I said, it's wedding planning, engagement. Some of you will be purchasing land or a home, but it's definitely a fresh start, and it's a gift from the universe, darling dears. This is a season of improvement in your health, your career, your status. And it's all over good vibe. Why? It's because of what you have within, darling dears. We saw the High Priestess. You are unlocking levels within which are shining on the outside, which is making you a magnet to what you truly want to manifest, darling dears. This is why Page of Swords. Keep your mind focused, darling dears, and no one is focused like a child learning something. Love it. I don't hate it. All right, let's press on. How best might be to embrace these changes, or this change to abundance? Spiritual guidance, enlightenment. How can, listen, by being forward thinking, darling dears, by what, getting to your plans, your goals and your dreams, writing them down. But the one's energy is about you putting your back into it. Don't wait for the opportunity to come to you. You create the opportunities. For some of you, law number 27, you are going to create some kind of a following, darling dear, because you have futuristic thinking. This is about people recognizing, people across waters, different lands, darling dears, recognizing your power. I nearly said star power. Yeah, 2 of Wands, because you're turning your back on what once was. Five of Wands is what? Conflict, confusion. This is a peace. You've had a peaceful time for your spiritual ascension, darling dears. How best to embrace it is to continue to look to the future, darling dears. Not get stuck in the future. This is about you working on your future. You have the whole world in your hands, darling dears. The 2 of Wands is about you assessing the progress that you've made so far, up until the point of what? Pluto entering Aquarius, darling dears. This is your once and for all turning your back on toxic situations that you was impassioned about in the past. Embrace your new ideas, these spiritual downloads that come to you, darling dears, with a vigor. Yes, determination and drive, darling dears. Determination and drive. Another card, yeah, Queen of Swords, because you have the wisdom of your experience, but it also speaks about you have the wisdom to what? Overcome any issue. You don't have many issues, darling dears, coming towards you. Hierophant in the reverse. Yeah. This also speaks about since you divorced yourself from a situation. It could be a marriage, a family situation, something that was of a foundation, darling dears. Yes. You're able to what? Hear the Most High speak. Swords and Wands energy is highly spiritual. This is you listening to your inner self and what? Activating growth. You know what can't come with you. Leave the past and what tried to break you where it is. I can't make it up. 7 of Wands, darling dears. Your block game must be for the gods. For the gods, bestie. For the gods. Posh. Clap. Embrace it with a futuristic mind, darling dears. Queen of Swords is about you what? Realizing what you went through was all part of your soul's journey. You had to overcome. But with the energy of the Phoenix rising, with the Queen of Swords, darling dears, this is a new beginning. Yes, the Hierophant is in reverse, but there is something that you had to unlearn. Generational patterns, as this generational planet goes into Aquarius, darling dears. You had to unlearn these things. It wasn't easy, because why? This toxic situation, or what you had to unlearn, was a comfort zone. And Big Cat, we hate the comfort zone. Comfort zone is what? Spiritual death, darling dears. Spiritual death. All right. Embrace these changes. Fresh start and a new beginning, darling dears. And it also speaks about the World Wide Web again. Somebody's business, some kind of venture that you are involved with that involves the internet is about to take off in a big way. This is generational wealth as the generational planet moves. Remember, I told you that. Embrace it. Because how would you behave if you already knew you'd won? This is the persona you must adopt, darling dears, as what? The baddest of them all. Yes, be bold, shameless and bold, darling dears. Listen to your intuition and your discernment. As I say, look, I can't make it up for this new beginning. Control all of the options, darling dears. There's going to be a lot of naysayers, right? The ones you washed your face like David from and ran away. You've cut off many people with a quickness. Why? It was time for you to be emotionally aligned with what? Change, darling dears. Not competing where you don't compare. Emotionally mature, darling dears. Understanding those breaks, that stabation was for what? This tower, darling dears. Can you see it? The tower. because you are the baddest of them all. Empress energy. You've got the devil at your back. Yeah, some people would like to come back with their negative energies and burden you. But if you've already been hot to trot and done your tinky winky, as well as what Matthew 10:14, dusted off your sandals and headed out, as well as what Law 16, darling dears, you've garnered some form of respect, right? With people, amongst people that you will never break bread with again, darling dears, because they can't come back. You've made a choice to embrace Pluto in Aquarius. It was culling season before that, darling dears. I'm telling you, you may even have dipped your toe back into what, a mud hut with the mud huttians, but you understood that it was time to what? Come off the barn, come out of the barn and go back into the field of infinite possibilities, where your abundance lies, where your knowledge lies, darling dears. Wisdom is for the wise, but in order to be wise, darling dears, you know that you don't know nothing. You are learning on a daily basis change, rebellious change. What beliefs or habits must the big cat release? Release the ungrateful, the energy vampires. Yeah. Boo. Release people that want to come and manipulate your emotions, darling dears. Nine of Cups on its face. Those that are greedy, darling dears. Those that are materially guided, darling dears. Those that are lazy. Those that are what? Opportunists, homosexuals that would like to ride on your coattails, right? Releasing somebody that tried to come back to you. Somebody or someone, darling dear. This is an old pattern that you are letting go of. Let that shit go. Cups could also represent alcohol. It could represent drugs, darling dears. Cups is about emotions, but it's also about family. People you once saw as family. As that cool wind of change is here. Listen. What did I just say? This releasation of the situation, darling dears. This dropation of these people, places, and things was destined. Some of you have been feeling confused, but you was destined to let all of those circumstances go. And as I said, you release all the negative energies and the people, places, and things attached to it. It's not your battle to fight. Give it to God. Don't lock and bind it and keep it on you or return it to sender. That's spiritual ping pong. Who's got time for that, blood? Too busy getting to the abundance, darling dears. The abundance. This destined change, darling dears. All right. Base of the deck. How can you access your inner wisdom? Somebody's feeling stuck, but this is a wanted change. Why? Because you are no longer sacrificing yourself to situations that is not for your spiritual betterment, darling dears. You're learning to avoid law 40 of the 48 laws of power. No free lunch, blood. You understood law 21. Play a sucker to catch a sucker, yeah? But law 41, you avoid conflicts. Why? That's for the feeble-minded, darling dears. Why waste the energy? We saw the Nine of Cups. They're energy vampires. They'll love it. Whether the energy is negative or positive. They want your tansion, darling dears. What did I say? Eight of Wands. The past has not forgotten you, darling dears. Expect some form of communication. But you are a spiritual badass. I told you it's the Phoenix rising. As your Big Cat Chronicles continues. How we saw the Hangman, how much you access your inner wisdom. Hangman is about change, darling, just gaining a new perspective on a situation. The Hangman is also here to remind us to what? Leave those that are selfish. Be selfless, darling dears. Move away from those that are in the victim mentality mode, darling dears. You'll feel the energy. And again, we see the Hangman. You saw me just shuffle, right? Shift away, darling dears. What inner wisdom will assist the big cat at this transformative time? A once-in-a-lifetime time, because why? Once Pluto leaves Aquarius in 2043, it won't be back in Aquarius for another 225 years. Last time it was there, the American and French Revolution. It was the Industrial Revolution. It was the beginning of the abolishing slavery. Yeah. All of that, darling dears. By realizing that God is within all of us, darling dears. This is how you unlock your transformation. By realizing that a higher power has a hand on your life. You are being guided, darling dears. You are being guided. Guided to make this change. Guided to release all conflicts to the Most High, darling dears. Remember, it's not your battle. You have purpose and you have to be on it. North Node style. Find out where your North Node is, darling dears. See if it's aspecting Pluto and Aquarius. You can see that from your what? Perfection chart. I do perfection charts. Hit me up in the Gmail, darling dears. Inner wisdom, darling dears. Keeping peaceful. But this is also accepting this new stages as you continue to go up, because you will continue to go up once you what? Understand how Pluto is hitting you, what house it's falling in for you. And again, bestie, I task you to go and watch my Pluto in Aquarius read. Find out your information and be what? On the path to wisdom. Anything else? Clarify the Hierophant energy, please. Yeah. Because there's something hidden from you, darling dears. Listen. The mind is not ramping. Whomsoever's coming with this low vibing energy, the codependent, these are people obsessively watching you, darling dears. They're watching. Why are they watching? You win. How you're going to access this inner wisdom is to leave the past where it is. People that was confused treated you as less than, darling dears. Made you question your own existence. Why? Because of what they saw in you, darling dears. You had blessings on you, right? As well as in you. They see it. Let go of the negative energies, darling dears, that had you trapped and tied. But in mind only, darling dears, never in body. You are freeing your mind to co-create and plan, plot and strategize. Yeah. Divine again is reminding you that you don't know everything next to the Eight of Swords. Things are about to be revealed, but you have to keep on this path. Be of one mind. Be focused, darling dears. Focused. Because what you do, right, from the first day Pluto hits Aquarius is what is going to shape the next 19 years of your life. So you better get your mind right. Think right. Aquarius is air energy. Your thoughts, line them up properly, darling dears. If you can't, you get yourself what? The post-it notes. I told you I'm the post-it note queen. Now leave them all over my boudoir. Even though you're not standing there reading, as your mind goes, your eyes go over it, your subconscious catches it. Change up these old, outdated neurological patterns in your mind. Let them go. And you will be able to access the universe, darling dears. All right. Oh, what's this? Another message about this. Yeah. Leave the toxic tricks where they are, blood. Where they are. And I told you, listen, because you're about to win. Win big, darling dears. And you'll be blessed, right? In the face of your haters, people that try to drag you back, people that you've left behind. They're toxic. And they're what? Attracting what they are. They're meant to watch you win, darling dears. They're meant to see you have status. And for, I just said till 2027, somebody's going to have a major change. I looked at this and I heard Taurus energy. Taurus energy is from what? The Hierophant. Taurus is going to have a fabulous next 3 years, darling dears. Taurus rising, to be exact. Yeah, because the devil is not for you, darling dears. Negativity, wasting your time, your energies on situations that are what? Below your spiritual pay grade, which will what? Hinder your progress. The 11th house, darling dears, the Aquarius energy is your groups. You're going to be going into different groups, people that think outside of the box, darling dears. You're going to have peers that bring business contracts to you, money, darling dears, made from your career. The 11th house is also about stepchildren. If you're going into a new relationship, expect stepchildren, or you'll be the one bringing the stepchildren to the relationship. But it's all about your futuristic thinking. And there's going to be some kind of issue with your older siblings. What's the issue with the older? Listen, they're crying into their fist blood. The one who had it all together has blocked them, darling dears. Your older siblings are upset. Yes, they're upset. That's their business. Who cares? No one's checking for them, boo. They once had your psychological password, but no more, darling dears. This is spiritual quarantine, being protected. All right, let's press on. Okay. The next one. Next question, because I wrote them down when I was contemplating this read. What ways can the big cat contribute and benefit the collective energy during this transformative shift? In what way can it, by what? Run, tell that, blood. You see the choppy water, darling dears. The choppy water is issues that you're throwing to the wayside. Run, tell that. Give your testimonial, darling dears. Salt is in your words being spiritually guided. Some of you are what? A spiritual megaphone. This is you getting your intel out there by any means necessary, because it will cross many waters. You are going to be working on people that feel stuck, working with people that feel stuck. You're going to be telling people how to what spiritually. You're going to become an eviction officer, darling dears. Showing people, telling people how to what spiritually evict certain energies out of their life. Yes, you are. And it's justice. What did I say? This is a karma card, darling dears. And not only that, the justice is what? The 7th house. The 7th house is the house of contractual partnerships. This is your friendships. This is relationships, family members. And it also speaks about the open enemy of it all. They're going to hate you for it, darling dears. You're going to get a lot of haters. But every new levels bring new devils, darling dears. Yeah, you are the change. Major changes, darling dears. You'll be able to contribute to society as a whole, darling dears, because you come as a truth speaker. She's holding the Ace of Swords high. Could be a she or a he, but the scales of balance. Your words will be able to what? Harmonize people's minds. Give them the what? The energy, the fire underneath them to bring about these changes in their life. Good God. This may be on the internet, darling dears. It could be in your community as a whole. But you're about to stand out and be different. Yeah. Your words, darling dears, is like gold to others. People are going to be looking to you for major advice. Could be via the internet. Could be through emails, text messages. It's technology, darling dears. Pentacles represent technology. People will be coming to you. And they're coming in hot to trot, darling dears, which is going to create multiple opportunities for you. So choose wisely, right? The infinite abundance, yeah. All right. You're going to be able to contribute to a community or your chosen field, whatever it is, something that you've been spiritually guided towards, darling dears. You're going to be giving them the tools in order to free themselves. But this is going to be what? A major blow up for many of you, darling dears. The tools that you give out are unique. They're different. This is what the Tower moment is about, darling dears. Tower is what? Uranus energy, darling dears. There's a lot of crisis. You're leaving a lot of crisis behind. There's a lot of arguments. People are shooketh that you are stronger than before, darling dears. You are a power to be reckoned with at this moment in time. This is definitely spiritual intervention that put you on the good foot, darling dears. And your words and whatever you're working on, darling dears, is to what? Benefit the whole collective. But I definitely see someone blowing up in a major way for being different, darling dears. You're a rebel. But this rebel comes with what? Knowledge. Solid facts, checkable facts, which is going to ease a multitude of minds, bring communities together. Why? One mind, darling dears, as we uplift the whole of this Malkuth. Many will be uplifters of this Malkuth, the energy itself, the overall energy. Your words, darling dears. Remember, you was in circumstances and situations where your words meant nothing. Your actions meant nothing, darling dears. You're about to turn the page in a season where your energy, this transformative energy that was dormant, darling dears, but it's been working over the past. I heard Oh my God, come through, 4 to 5 years. You've been changing significantly, darling dears. But you're going to be changing lives on a whole international scale. Pentacalis is online. Remember, I told you that. And when you do it, hit me up in the Gmail at the PayPal. Bestie, pinkies up. Yes, baby. I love it. I don't hate it. How can you harmonize this new technology, the technology that's coming, right, for progressive growth in your life? Learn everything, blood. And it doesn't, everybody learns differently. The Seven of Wands speaks about using unconventional methods in learning what you're spiritually guided to, darling dears. And it's also about, as I told you, it's all from the inside. This change is coming from, darling dears. When you tell yourself that you want something and you're focused when you're telling yourself that, especially if you do it just as you're about to fall asleep or just as you've woken up in the morning, right? You are activating your subconscious mind. Yeah. Divine is telling you to what? You're going to use unconventional methods to learn how to utilize this new technologies to your absolute best, darling dears. Yes. There's going to be a lot of false people, but you're going to use your what? Discernment, the spirit of discernment to know what's right for you. Yeah. Somebody's going to have as many as what? 6 paths leading them to one specific type of information that is going to help you beyond all measure. Yep, and it's coming towards you very quickly. Why? Because you've gotten over what was holding you back, darling dears. Heartbreak from situations like I said, when Divine says, strongest soldier, it's time for you. It's your time to step up to the platform, the podium, darling dears. Right? Yeah, take the time and step up there. But me personally, what I did, I said, Father God, don't make me be the strongest soldier this year. Let me reap the benefits of the abundance of my obedience in carrying them heavy loads. Please. Baby. Well, no, I don't call Bob. No, but then again, I nearly said Bob. Who is Bob? Somebody's Bob? Bobette? Bobbin? Or is it Bob the Builder, darling dears? Yeah. You're building, darling dears. You're going to have reasons to celebrate, but this is also your feminine energy being in alignment. You are going to be celebrating with what? Soul Tribe. I told you. Many of you have been walking this path solo dolo like the boys or girls on the pole. There's nothing wrong. I love my own company, right? My mind is infinite, darling dears. I'm always learning new things. I learn myself. I get to pay attention to my children, right? I know what's going on, you know. This is your time to what? Be up in energy, darling dears. Up in energy because it's coming in. Be in expectation mode because it's your gift for the due diligence that you've done. The energy of the 8, right? The energy of the 8. Yeah, we know it's Big Cat Leo energy, the 5th house. But it's also representative of Lean In Bestie, the Star card. And what Star card? Aquarius energy. Why do I say that? Because Aquarius is number 17 in tarot, and the 1 and 7 goes to an 8, darling dears. Yeah, I told you somebody is about to step into the spotlight in a big way with their unconventional ways, darling dears. You're about to be a groundbreaker. Yeah, because you had to wash your face like David. You had to learn what was not for you, and it was painful. It was painful. But you had to rip the plaster off. That's a band-aid to some. Seek the answers that you want with the technology, darling dears, and Divine, your ancestral team, call them your security, will present them to you so that you'll be able to understand what's going on, darling dears, and utilize what you found out to your best advancement, to your abundance. What did I say about the school and the learning new things? What unseen energies or spiritual opportunities are going to guide the big cat through this transformative period? I've got the Ace of Cups in the reverse. letting go of family members, people that don't truly love you, is what's going to unlock everything, darling dears. That's the universe saying, whatever you like. Huh? Whatever you like. Yeah. High vibration, darling dears. The sun, when it shines forever, darling dears. Divine is putting an umbrella of wisdom over you, and it's coming in quick. But it also speaks about manifestation. Your tongue, as you speaketh, it shall appear. You don't even understand the energy that you are holding. This is the sun energy, darling dears. Your creativities are about to be buffed up, no longer confused, darling dears, because you are leaning on your own inner understanding. Soul is spiritual, darling dears, and your cup is about to run over. But you don't see it coming. Why don't you see it coming? Because you haven't taken the time to look back on what you've overcome up to this point. Remember I told you that? Should we get one final card? Okay. Get one final card. My daughter Kenya, and Kenya means freedom. I gave her the information, but she kindly wrote up all of these cards for me with her neat handwriting. Kenya means freedom, darling dear. So we'll use the freedom card to get one final message for the big cats. The moving silence champions. Yeah, forget about what you've lost, darling dears, and accept what's coming towards you, right? Embracing, yes, and you acknowledge this new beginning, darling dears. Forget what was, darling dears, and move towards what will be. Remember, it's the phoenix rising for the moving silence champion during Pluto in Aquarius. On that note, I drops me mic. Toddle over to my Teesprings, my Patreon, or my TikToks, where I also upload videos. Teesprings is where all of my merchandise is. Support the channel. Why not, darling? Or hit the join button. Become a member of this channel. Thank you very much for your bookings, your donations, your continued support and appreciation of this channel. I love you guys for that from the bottom of my heart. I truly do. It's so wonderful to find and mind what like-minded souls, darling dears, with the knowledge and wisdom of my experience, as well as my spiritual gifts, which are increasing on a daily basis. My ultimate goal for you is to be free in the manner which you feel to be free, darling dears. For you to co-create whatever you truly desire and understand that you are the nuclei. You have the power within you to be a co-creating champion during Pluto in Aquarius. On that note, I drops me mic. And as I always say, don't get smoked. And don't smoke yourself. From the ashes, baby. Namaste. Big cat wave. Until we meet again on these tarot streets. Cat, cat. Cat, cat.
Astrology, Numerology in our hands. No weapon formed against you shall ever stand. We're winners, we never quit, we always keep on going. Quitters never win, but we're always growing. Hey there, big cat, let's chase the highest vibration. Together we'll create a new world, a brand new nation.